Judgment often feels like discipline, but really it's just fear in disguise. And until you can see it for what it really is, you won't be able to access the compassion that will free you from it. Hello, my loves. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, if you're a subscriber. My name is Tay and I talk all things self-evolution. In this video, we're going to explore why we judge ourselves, how the ego uses judgment to hold control, and what it actually means to meet yourself with compassion instead. Then I'll share various practical ways that you can embody that compassion in your daily life. By the end of this video, you will see that you don't need to fight your self-judgment. You can soften it, transform it, and return to the truth that you already are enough. So why do we judge ourselves? We judge ourselves because somewhere deep in our wiring, our mind was trained to scan for threats. Thousands of years ago, asking, "Am I doing something wrong?" could literally keep you alive. I mean, if the tribe rejected you, survival wasn't guaranteed. So the brain learned, self-check, stay in line, don't get cast out. But here's the thing, fast forward to now, and those same survival circuits are still running in our brain. Crazy, right? You would think that we would evolve past this, but no. The only difference is now that our threats aren't saber-toothed tigers. They're our boss's harsh, critical voice, unchecked text messages, the number of views or likes that you have on your Instagram post. It's comparing yourself to that one friend who seems to have it all together. Your brain is still trying to predict and prevent social rejection the same way it once tried to predict and prevent physical threats. Back then, if you got kicked out of the tribe, you were essentially fucked. Today, rejection looks like embarrassment. It looks like failure or being judged. So basically your brain goes, well, I better beat them to it. If I can call out myself first, it'll soften the blow. The survival mechanism, it didn't vanish, it rebranded itself into self-criticism. So instead of fighting predators, we're fighting potential shame and exclusion. Remember, our brains just want us to be safe. If we shame ourselves first, maybe we can control the narrative and nobody can hurt us. Another way to perceive it is judgment is your ego running a survival script. Because consciousness at its core, it doesn't judge, it simply is. Pure awareness doesn't label things as good or bad. If you watched my video on neutrality, you will understand this. Judgment enters when we take on the layers of ego, conditioning, identity. The ego survives through comparison, asking questions like, am I enough? Am I doing enough? Am I better? Am I worse? Judgment is literally how it keeps its grip over you. If it can point out all of your flaws, maybe you'll stay safe, small, predictable. So when you hear that voice come in and it says things to you like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, maybe they're better than me, that isn't your soul and that isn't your truth. That's the ego running a survival script. Because one thing about the ego, it is terrified of dissolving. Terrified! People will go their entire lives avoiding evolution because of this. You know, the soul, our essence, our awareness, it doesn't mind. No, it wants evolution, it wants growth. It wants compassion, it wants love. It knows it's infinite. But the ego, it's temporary, it's a concept, and it can't stand that truth. So it judges, because judgment makes it feel solid. I exist because I have this opinion, this label, this stance, this identity. But if you're spiritually aware, you will know that that voice is not you. The ego is not you. The real you is the one hearing the voice, the one witnessing and experiencing it. If you can observe the judgment, then by definition, you are not the judgment. Every self-judgment is really just a distorted form of longing. Think about it. I'm not enough is really just pointing us back towards a deeper truth. You are already infinite enoughness. You've quite literally just forgotten. Don't we just love being human? For real though, the journey is beautiful. The journey of remembrance, it's so special. From a higher perspective, self-judgment is spiritual static. It blocks the signal of your own divinity. It's never truth. It's just the forgetting of truth. So what does it mean and look like to have unconditional compassion? Unconditional compassion towards yourself looks like this. There is no condition under which you are not deserving of love. No condition. Not when you fail. Not when you relapse into old habits, not when your ego is screaming the loudest. You still show up for yourself the way a loving parent would for their child. Steady, patient, forgiving. Because that is what dissolves shame, softens your ego, and lets your authentic self shine through. Compassion doesn't mean believing the ego's lies, because the ego will lie to you. It will conjure up many statements to protect itself. That's just what it does. Compassion means recognizing what's beneath all of this, right? You realize this part of me is scared. It's just trying to protect me, even if it's clumsy and annoying as hell. So when the ego judges you, you don't attack it back. You see it like a child throwing a tantrum. You wouldn't hand the child the keys, but you also wouldn't scream at it. What would you do? You would stay calm, steady, grounded. Instead of, ugh, I hate that I'm insecure. Compassion says, I see that my ego is feeling insecure right now, and that's okay. That single shift untangles you from identity. It untangles you from being attached to what the ego is telling you. You stop being judged and you remember you are the observer. When you remember this, you have the space to choose how you think, how you respond, how you feel. You choose who you want to be. You choose who you are showing up to be. And in that space, you become so powerful. Sometimes you can even talk to your ego directly. You can say, hey, I know you're scared of failing. I hear you, I do. But we can try. We're safe to try. And that, speaking to yourself like that is how you stop the war that's going inside. That internal conflict between you and your self-judgment. Your judgment then turns into integration. Instead of meeting yourself with more judgment, you are meeting yourself with love. Because here's the deeper truth. Self-judgment never makes you improve. It doesn't. It doesn't work. No matter how much people might try to convince you that shaming yourself into growth, guilting yourself into growth is an effective technique, it is not. It quite literally just makes you anxious while you try. Compassion is what truly grows you, and funnily enough, it takes a lot of strength to continuously show up for yourself with compassion instead of defaulting into survival scripts. Compassion is what gives you the safety to expand without fear. Compassion allows you to hold space for your ego while it learns that it doesn't need to control everything. Imagine the difference between, why am I like this? I should be further along. That's judgment. Compared to, wow, look at this tender part of me that still believes in old narratives. It deserves love too. Big difference in the way that those statements feel and how they impact you moving forward. So, I want to give you some examples of what this looks like in practice so that you're prepared and equipped in these situations and you know exactly what to say to yourself. When you mess up, instead of saying something like, ugh, I'm such an idiot, which I hope none of you say because name calling to yourself is really, really ineffective, really mean. Anyway, I digress. The compassionate approach would be to say something to yourself like, yeah, I made a mistake, and I'm still worthy of love. So, what can I learn from this? When you feel insecure, instead of spiraling into shame, you can say, oh, my ego is scared right now. That's okay. It's just trying to keep me safe. When you procrastinate or self-sabotage, instead of saying, why am I so lazy? You ask, what part of me is afraid right now? Where is the resistance? What comfort am I clinging to? And then you offer gentleness instead of punishment. When an old wound resurfaces, you don't try force yourself to get over it. You say to yourself, the pain is here. It's valid. I'm allowed to feel it without making it mean that I'm broken. I'm allowed to feel it and process it without making it a reflection of my identity, of my worth. I hope those were helpful. Now I want to talk about how to actually embody unconditional compassion. When it comes to fully embodying unconditional compassion and letting go of self-judgment entirely, I have 4 steps for you. The first is to connect to your inner child. You do this by seeing yourself as that pure, sweet, innocent child who just needed love. When you picture them, you realize every harsh word that you speak to yourself, your inner child hears it within you. They are listening, always. And when you can remember them, you naturally soften. You want to nurture, not punish. So make it a consistent practice. Meditate on them. Talk to them. Reconnect with your childhood hobbies. Play. Let them remind you how deserving of love you have always been. I have an inner child meditation available on my website if you want to meet and talk to your inner child, deeply connect with them. It is honestly top of the list of life-changing practices that I have come across on my personal growth journey. Connecting to my inner child has deepened my love for myself so deeply. If you want to become your own best friend, Befriend your inner child. Heal them from the wounds. Become the version of you that would love them, care for them, acknowledge them, make them feel seen and heard, not locked away within you. They are very much alive, and when you take the time to listen to them, they will teach you the rawest truths about yourself and allow you to experience such deep levels of self-love. So take this as a definitive sign. And if you want that meditation, the link is in my description, available at lovefromtay.com, my website where I have many digital journals, meditations, workbooks, and a course on how to become the best version of you in 25 days, doing a complete mindset reset, mindset makeover, if you will. Anyway, moving on, the next step is to forgive yourself. Man, this is so crucial. You need to forgive yourself for past mistakes, otherwise you would just be carrying it with you. Forgive yourself for all the ways you have mistreated yourself in the past. Accept that that's what happened. Accept that you are human and you are doing the best with what you know. When you can forgive, it clears space inside of your vessel so that love has room to root. When you can sit with the pain that you've been suppressing, when you can give it your attention and care without shoving it away, it dissolves. It literally dissipates. And it transforms into wisdom. What a beautiful process. Alchemy, my friends. This wisdom, it allows you to be more awake, more gentle, more kind, more loving. And that's exactly what we want for you, isn't it? So, make forgiveness a daily ritual. Because half the time, we don't even realize the subtle ways in which we've been harming ourselves. Much of what we tend to call intuition is actually self-talk and perceptions laced with pain. You won't be able to recognize that within yourself if you haven't sat with the pain that exists within your vessel. And when you can release it, that's when the true voice of love within you can really shine through. The next step is to become obsessed with finding new ways to love yourself. Have fun with it. Write love letters to different versions of you. The child, the teenager, the future self you're growing into. You can perform rituals of kindness, like gratitude journaling, journaling without censoring, surrounding yourself with affirming reminders, celebrating small wins instead of brushing them off. Treat love like a creative practice. It's infinite. It has no ceiling. I have 2 great products for this, my self-love workbook and my daily gratitude journal. Pair these together and whoo, you will be beaming with self-love. Literally beaming and glowing and radiating it. Seriously. The 4th and final step is to retrain your self-talk. This is so important. So important. You know why? Because your words create your inner world. Your words shape your inner world. Your word is your wand. It's spellcraft. It's magic. And I'm not even joking. I'm being so serious. So, every time the inner critic shows up, what I want you to do is literally say, pause, that's old programming. Pause, that's old programming. I'm going to say it one more time. Pause, that is old programming. No longer in alignment with this mind and vessel that we are building. Then you choose again. So here's some reframes that you can use. Instead of I should, try I get to. Instead of I can't, try I'm learning to. Instead of I should have done better, try I did the best that I could with the awareness that I have. Next time, I'll bring in what I've learned. Instead of I'm behind everyone else, try my path is unfolding at the perfect pace for me. Instead of I always mess things up, try sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's okay. Because every single experience is happening for me. Every single experience is training me. Instead of I'll never figure this out, try I'm learning. And every single step, even the messy ones, is progress. Instead of I'm lazy, I'm unmotivated, shift to I'm listening to my energy. Rest is a part of the process. Momentum will return. Instead of this always happens to me, shift to this happened for me, to show me where I'm ready to shift, learn, and grow. Over time, these swaps will rewire your brain. Your default way of thinking will shift from judgment to compassion. Remember, self-talk, it isn't just words, it's programming. You are conditioning yourself to think and speak in a certain way. So every single reframe is a choice to keep running an old script or to write a new one that is aligned with compassion. And over time, these choices become who you are. They shape your sense of identity. They shape your sense of self. And that is how you embody self-compassion, not as an idea, but as a way of being. So, what does it mean to stop self-judgment and embody compassion instead? It means to never abandon yourself. Not when you stumble, not when you feel behind, not when everything feels like it's crashing, not when your ego feels loud and messy and harsh. It means you meet yourself with love, even and especially in the places that you used to meet yourself in shame. Because ultimately, compassion is power. It's the frequency that melts your old wounds, restructures your brain, and opens the door for your authentic self to rise. When you choose compassion over judgment, you stop trying to earn your worth and start living from the truth that you always have been enough. You always have been worthy. So that's how self-judgment ends. Not by fighting with it, but by remembering who you truly are. And who you are underneath it all is love. That concludes everything that I had to say for today's video. If this resonated with you, let it ripple into the collective. Share it with somebody who needs this reminder today. And drop your reflections in the comments so that we can grow together. I love hearing what you have to say. And if you want more of this energy in your feed, hit the subscribe and bell button. Join my community. I would love, 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 love to have you here with me. And when you're ready for the next step, I've created many resources to help you go even deeper into this work. You know where to find them, lovefromtay.com. The link is in my description. Because ultimately, you don't need to do this alone. You deserve support. You deserve guidance. You deserve to give yourself access to the tools you need to flourish, thrive, and rise. Most importantly, you deserve to live from a place of love and unwavering compassion for yourself. So, check it out, see what calls to you, and let's walk this path together. With all of that being said, I love you unconditionally, forever and always, and I will see you, my friend, in the next video. Mwah.